What's up everybody, it's Culverx here and welcome to my second channel. On this channel, I'll be posting sports content such as predictions and analysis. To start this channel, I'll be doing mostly college football, American football, but eventually I want to stretch out to the NFL, college basketball, etc. and do videos on those topics as well. Now before we get into today's video, I'd like to let you all know that this channel is heavily inspired by another channel called SG1 Sports and his college football channel. I'll make sure to link his channel down below for you all to check out. Now for this very first video, I want to give you my early predictions for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who are my favorite team. For this series, I'll be talking about what I currently think about different teams and their schedules. Then when we get into probably June, I'll start to go over official predictions for these teams. Anyways, let's take a look at this Nebraska football schedule. Last year was pretty disappointing for Nebraska. There wasn't as much hype as there was for 2019, especially with the pandemic and everything. People just weren't really as excited for sports in general, but Nebraska is generally one of those teams that's always going to get hyped up. They're always believed to be going back to their old ways of like when Osborne was the coach there. And so will this be the year? No, I don't think so. Even though I'm a fan, I don't think this is the year that Nebraska will become one of those top teams in college football again. Either way, we're going to go over their schedule, and I am going to give you my early predictions for them. These are not my official predictions. This is not exactly what I think will happen, but right now, this is what I'm leaning towards. This could be completely different when we get to the official predictions in June, but for now, this is just what I'm thinking. Alright, so looking at this schedule, it will be a 12-game schedule for them, like most teams. I believe Nebraska is the only Power 5 team to have 2 bye weeks this year, and the reason for that is because they'll actually be playing in week 0 against Illinois. This game was originally supposed to be in Ireland, but they did move it to Champaign. Probably just because of COVID and everything going on right now. So they will start off with that game on the road against Illinois. Definitely not the easiest way to start off your season. Normally you're going to have a lower tier group of 5 team or an FCS team. They have to play a Big Ten game on the road to start it off. This is a weird thing the Big Ten is doing this year. A lot of Big Ten teams are going to be playing each other in week 1. Which, for this conference, that doesn't happen very often. Anyways, with Illinois' new head coach, this should be a fairly difficult challenge, but I think Nebraska is probably the better team, but being on the road, first game of the season, this is kind of a coin flip to me. They'll get a bye week for week 1 because they're playing in week 0, and then they will take on Buffalo, a team that was in the top 25 last year. They had an incredible running back. I think he got 8 touchdowns in that one game against Kent State. They almost won the MAC. They lost to Ball State in the championship game. But this team is probably not going to be near as good as they were last year. So I'm going to assume that Nebraska will have this game covered. So they're going to get a bye week and likely an easier game before they take on Oklahoma, which I think will probably be the toughest game on their schedule. Ohio State could be as well, but this is on the road. It's in Norman. Rivalry renewed. These two go back a long time. And so I think this game, it's going to be really hard for Nebraska to win. Can they keep up with Oklahoma? Probably not. Do I think they'll make some plays early on? Maybe they'll keep it close at halftime. Yeah, maybe. I think this Nebraska team has enough where they could be a top 25 team, but Oklahoma, I think, is just going to be on another level this year. After that, they'll head up to East Lansing to take on the Spartans of Michigan State. This game, I think, especially coming off of a likely loss or a program-changing win against Oklahoma, this team is either going to have extremely high spirits or just going to be down in the dumps. It's on the road. Michigan State, I think they're going to be a below-average team in the Big Ten. I don't see them being that great, but I feel like this Nebraska team is going to be a little down after that Oklahoma game, and I think this is the perfect chance for Michigan State to get a big win, but kind of like the Illinois game, I feel like that one's a 50-50. Northwestern's up next, and they are definitely taking a big hit this year. I just know that a lot of their production is gone. It is at home, and this could be a big win for Nebraska to go ahead and get some momentum going after possibly 2 straight losses. Or, you never know, they could have lost to Illinois. Buffalo could have pulled off a shocking upset. I think this is a time where Nebraska will be really trying to get a big win. And then they take on Michigan the next week, who may be in the top 25. Who knows how much better they'll be. They did get that 5-star quarterback. They have some of their guys coming back. So Michigan could have some good leaders on the team, and that could be a tough one for Nebraska. I would favor Michigan, but I think Nebraska, if they play a really good game, they could win that one. Minnesota the next week, probably going to be in just an average Big Ten team, maybe a little better. I think it was 2 years ago they were really good. Almost made the college football playoff. This is going to be a hard game for Nebraska. It's an above-average Big Ten team. Michigan State and Illinois, while they're on the road, those are below-average Big Ten teams. Minnesota, they're going to be average to above average, and on the road, that's going to be a tough crowd. I think this one could give Nebraska some trouble. Then they'll have their second bye week. Then after their bye week, they'll take on Purdue, who will probably be not the greatest team in the conference, but they're definitely not a team you're going to want to overlook. I could see this game giving Nebraska some trouble. Then Ohio State. We saw what happened last year. Nebraska kept it close within the first quarter or two, but Ohio State did come out victorious. This one is in Lincoln. I think Nebraska will be a little better this year. The defense is getting better, but I don't really see a way Nebraska wins this one. The only reason why I see them having a chance against Oklahoma is because it's early in the season, and Oklahoma and Nebraska have a storied rivalry, and that one is just going to have a bunch of hype going into it. Ohio State, I don't see this one being that big of a game. I really don't see Nebraska having much of a chance there, but Ohio State probably will be a little worse than they are next year, so I guess you never know. Southeastern Louisiana, that's a FCS team. Kind of weird for the Big Ten to have a game against a non-conference team so late in the season. That doesn't normally happen, but I think this one should be a very easy win for Nebraska. That should give them some confidence going into Wisconsin on the road at Camp Randall. That one, like, no matter how good of Wisconsin is, playing them on the road is always difficult. The fans are always excited there, and I think this one will give Nebraska some trouble. Then on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, they will take on Iowa to round out the season. Iowa, I think, is probably a top 25 team. I think if Nebraska is going to pull off a big upset this year, it's going to be Iowa, or if Michigan's in the top 25, then them. The past 3 years, Nebraska's kept it really close against Iowa. Last year, Nebraska looked like they were going to win until they fumbled at one of the last seconds. That was a complete heartbreaker. I'm a Nebraska fan. That one it was horrible. In the Heroes game, I think that Nebraska will be ready, and this should be a really good game. Now let's go over what my current predictions are for Nebraska. I think 2 games that you should have a good chance at winning are definitely Buffalo and Southeastern Louisiana. Southeastern Louisiana, an FCS team, don't really see them having much of a chance in Lincoln. Buffalo, like I said, there's a chance there for them, but at the end of the day, Nebraska should be a much better team, and Buffalo did lose a lot of production. As for games I think Nebraska will lose, Oklahoma, yes, I said that you never know, but still, Norman, great team, could even win a national championship this year. I don't see Nebraska having much of a chance to win that one. Maybe to keep it close, but not to win it. Ohio State, kind of an obvious one. Ohio State, they're always good. They always give Nebraska a challenge. I don't see enough on this roster to defeat the Buckeyes, even though it's in Lincoln. And then Wisconsin, I feel like Wisconsin always is able to beat up on Nebraska. They didn't play last year due to the virus going around, and I really feel like just Wisconsin is going to have the edge here. I think even if Nebraska keeps it close, kind of like Oklahoma, it's just the crowd's too good. Wisconsin, I think, will be too good, and I think they'll give Nebraska their third for sure loss. As for these other 7 games in white, I think these are all, like kind of 50-50. Some of them, like Nebraska has a 25 to 75% chance to win, and really, I think that they would split these all. However, you can't really split 7 games, and because they're my favorite team, I think this is the year Nebraska finally gets over the hump. It's Scott Frost takes them to a bowl game. I will say that Nebraska goes 6-6, but these are just my early predictions. Who knows what I will do when it comes time for the actual predictions in June, or possibly later before the season starts. So I hope you guys did enjoy this first video on the Kovark Sports channel. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Tomorrow we are going to be going over my early top 25 for these teams. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!